Hi, Ypsi dancers. It's Miss Gina from Pure Dance Ensemble, and I am as a little special part of our dance series with Ypsi Library. I'm going to read you a book, and this book is called Dancing in the Wings by Debbie Allen. Debbie Allen is a famous dancer and television personality. She's one of my idols, and one of the reasons she's one of my idols is because she's a dancer, and her older sister, who's Felicia Rashad, and she played on The Cosby Show for years and years, but she is also an opera singer. So I have a sister who's an opera singer. So I really love Debbie Allen and her family because it reminds me of my family. Another note is that Kadir Nelson is the illustrator of this book, and Kadir Nelson also made the paintings of both Mr. and President and Mrs. Obama, First Lady Obama. So Kadir Nelson is a well-known African-American artist. So let's get started with Dancing in the Wings. So here we go with our cutie pie that we're going to be learning about today. So the book goes, ever since I was born and could see, everywhere I looked, I saw dance. In the clouds as the wind blew them across the sky, and the ripples on a pond, even in the sea of ants marching up and down their hills. Dance was all around me. Dance was me. My mom calls me Sassy because I like to put my hands on my hips and because I always have something to say. Well, if you had feet as big as mine, you'd understand why. You guys probably know somebody that's like Sassy, huh? Okay, you should join the swimming team since you've got those long toes and don't need any fins, my older brother Huey teased. I shot right back. At least I don't have that big forehead looking like a street lamp. Mama said, stop all that bad talk. You act so ugly sometimes, Huey. Your big head is a sign of intelligence. And Sassy, your big feet will make your legs look longer and prettier in your ballet shoes. My legs were longer, all right. So long that when I went to do tendu, point my toe at the bar, I tripped Miss Catherine, our teacher, who was coming down the line looking the other way. Splat! She landed under the piano, her legs up in the air. Ooh, it was so funny. Even she had to laugh. Sassy, she called out, I'm going to tie orange bows on those big feet. Sorry, Miss Catherine, I answered, but if you didn't wear your glasses, you still won't see them. One thing's for sure, because of my long legs and big feet, I could jump higher and spin faster than anyone else. That's my favorite stuff to do in ballet class too, is jump higher and spin faster. I was taller than the rest of the kids at school, even the boys. At recitals, all the other girls got to dance solos and duets and wear pretty tutus. I was too big for the boys to pick up and too tall to be in the line with the other girls. So I watched from backstage, Dancing in the Wings, hoping that if I just kept dancing and trying, it would be my turn to dance in the spotlight. Look at that. This is called arabesque line. And here's arabesque line with a partner. There, the girls have some beautiful drawings, right? Super long lines is what we want. One day at the end of ballet class, Miss Catherine announced Mr. Bato from the Russian school is coming next week to look for talented young people for the Summer Dance Festival in Washington, D.C. The whole room turned into a whirlpool of excitement as the sign-up sheet was posted. Everyone wanted to try, especially me. But as I wrote my name down, I heard two girls, Molly and Mona, giggle. Mona said, oh, please, she'll never make it. They said talent, not a Tyrannosaurus. My heart seemed to stand still for once. I had nothing to say. I couldn't hide the tears I felt welling up in my eyes, so I just grabbed my dance bag and ran into the parking lot. Look at the girls, everybody just standing around in ballet class and standing around Miss Catherine as she makes the big announcement. Uh-oh, people have said things to me before that aren't very nice in class. What about you? Okay. I heard a familiar horn honk and turned to see my Uncle Red in his bright green pickup truck. Uncle Red had the whitest tight curly hair, smelled of cigars, and every day wore something red. A tie, a hat, a shirt, socks, maybe even his shoestrings, just something red. Why, of all days, did Mama have to send him to pick me up? Why today? I was not in the mood for his jokes or stories, but I quickly tried to dry my eyes and smile. There's Uncle Red's truck. I got a good one for you today, Sassy. What did the banana say to the monkey? Split! Ha ha ha. Get it? Split. Banana split. I started to cry. Sassy, what's wrong? He asked. I told him what happened. I'm just so much taller than the other dancers, Uncle Red. Sassy, he said, you got to look at that as a gift. Being tall means you can see all around, so you can always find the right path to take. No, I said, it means I stick out like a big acne bump on someone's nose. I'll never get to dance. It's a waste of time to go to that audition. Listen, gal, said Uncle Red, if I was tall and as pretty as you, I wouldn't need to wear red so people knew it was me coming and going. All you got to do to make your mark on the world is walk into a room. Uh-oh, Uncle Red. Can you guys see the sun is? It's okay, Mishka. Almost done. My dog wants to come out. You can see his little furry face there. By the time I got home, Uncle Red had cheered me up and had me laughing and feeling better. As I got out of his truck, he waved goodbye, calling out, "Make your mark, gal." Huey and his football friends stopped playing. Huey yelled out, "Hey, Sassy, why don't you come and play with us? We need a goalpost." His mean little ugly friends, boy, did that make me mad when they laughed. "Sure, if we can use your big head for the ball," I shouted back. His friends screamed with laughter. Huey got so mad he turned red, looking like a tomato with that big head. Ha! We were just about to go at each other when Mama called us inside. Look at Mama. Whose Mama does that? Everybody's. Right? Late that night, I lay awake, staring out my window and thinking about Uncle Red's words. I could see myself dancing on the Milky Way, swirling like a twinkling shooting star. Next thing I knew, I was talking to myself out loud. I'm going to that audition, big feet and all. She dreams about dancing. Does anybody else dream about dancing? I do. I dream about dancing. On the day of the tryout, kids came from all over the city. It was so crowded, everyone was expected to wear black. But like Uncle Red, I picked my own color, bright yellow. Uh-oh. And instead of standing in the back, I squeezed between Molly and Mona, right in the front row. I ignored their snickering. Miss Catherine came in and introduced Mr. Bato. Everybody applauded. Boy, was he short. Couldn't have been more than 4 feet 9 inches tall. He started walking down the rows, pacing back and forth, just looking at us. Then he stopped right in front of me and said, "Young lady, why are you wearing that loud yellow leotard? I'll need to put sunglasses on to see anybody else. Please go to the back row." Uh-oh. That's what happens when you don't follow the rules. Gotta go to the back row. Molly whispered, "See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya." At least he noticed me, I snapped. I put my hands on my hips and walked to the back. The first round of the audition was center floor exercises. Mr. Bato walked around prodding and poking and making corrections. He stopped once and looked right at me, but didn't say a thing. I held my breath as he dismissed almost half the kids after the first round, but not me. So she made it to second rounds. Look at their plies. Beautiful, yes? Beautiful plies. Next was the adagio, the slow section. I stood as close to Mona as I could get, and I whispered, "Your little skinny short legs are gonna look like chicken wings next to mine." That's not very nice, is it? Talk to the hand. I'd rather look like a chicken than a turkey, like you with that long neck, she answered. Talk to the hand, I told her. I took my leg up so high it got stuck. Luckily, I could balance on my other big foot, so I just held it until Mr. Bato remarked, "Young lady, the exercise is finished." Oh, I jumped out of position. Show off, Molly grunted. Gobble, gobble, Mona imitated a turkey. Oh, look. This is beautiful, yeah? Now her long legs are coming in handy, right? Then came the leaps across the floor. I took off like Jackie Joyner-Kersee in the long jump at the Olympics. With one leap, I sailed in the air past all the other girls. Molly and Mona watched, looking pea-green with envy. When I finished, Mr. Bato yelled, "Young lady, you must learn to dance to the music. Up on count of 1, down on the count of 3. 3!" I was crushed as I passed Mona to get back in line. She said, "Next time, bring your big butt down by 3. "Your mama," I said. Ooh, did I wish I was a wizard. I'd turn them into 2 big fat frogs in tutus, trying to hip hop. This is mean, huh? Sometimes people say mean things. There's the 2 frogs, though. Those are cute. And you just have to ignore them and keep going. By the end of the day, there were only 7 of us left. Mr. Bato called out everyone's name except mine and asked them to step forward. Standing alone, I really had to fight to hold back my tears. So there she is. And there's everybody else. Sometimes you don't get to be with the group. Then I heard him say, "Thank you all for coming today. Keep working, keep trying. You are dismissed." Mr. Bato said to me, "Sassy, you have a great deal of potential. You have beautiful long arms and legs, but you flail with no control. You must learn to use your feet better and timing. We have a lot of work to do when you come to Washington this summer. But please, please leave that loud yellow leotard at home. All you need to do to be noticed is walk into a room." Dismissed. He walked out. Sometimes the teacher has to tell you things you don't want to hear. Jumping and shouting, I ran into the parking lot. I made it, Mama, I made it. Guess who was there to pick me up? Mama, Uncle Red, Huey, and half his football team piled in the back of the green truck on their way to a game. Everybody was so proud of me, even Huey. "You go on, Miss Bigfoot." "Thank you, Mr. Big Head," I said. We all laughed. Yay! Oh, can you see the sun shining? There we go. The celebration. So you see, being with the group was not being with the group was a good thing this time. All right. So here we go, off to Washington. 1 month later, Mama and I boarded the plane for Washington, D.C. She held my hand as my heart pounded when we landed. At the school, there were young dancers from Russia, Mexico, France, China, Cuba, Brazil, New York, Texas, and long-legged me from Inglewood, California. I think she's one of the tallest ones in that room, too. In the class the first day, Mr. Bato introduced me to his 12-year-old protege named Dwight, who was 5 feet 10 inches tall. "Dwight, I think I have found your partner." There's Dwight. He's taller than Sassy. What do you know? What do you know, Sassy? Mama was right. Being tall wasn't so bad after all, and neither was having a big head. By the end of the summer, Huey had won the grand prize at Space Camp in Alabama, and I got to dance a duet with Dwight in the summer concert. When Dwight lifted me high in the air, I felt like I was dancing on the Milky Way, me and my big feet, making my mark on the world. Ah, the spotlight. Finally. The end. There she is. Sassafras. So that is the end of the story. Here's a picture of Debbie Allen with her daughter. And there's a picture of Kadir Nelson. And thank you very much for joining me today, Ypsilanti Library Dancers. And hopefully we'll see you at Riverside Arts Center sometime this year for a show or for a class, or maybe to take a music lesson. See you soon.